Hey everyone, good morning. So let's look at some of the stocks that are on the move. So I see that RMCF is pushing higher. So let's see, it's the new 5-minute candle that has started. Let's give it a second for it to find the low. It's right below the 200 simple moving average on the daily. It's holding 1.55, which is a good thing. But I'd be willing to take a position around 1.47, which is the low of the previous candle. Or if it pushes above the 1.66 mark. Okay, it pushed higher. I'm looking for a flush that I can get into close to 150. Wow, that was an insane move. That was just an insane move. Missed the whole move. Broke about the 200 simple moving and the exponential moving averages there. So the past couple of days we have had these small, penny or sub $1 stocks make these incredible moves. It's holding to 2, which is a good sign. So let's see on the daily. It has broken this pivot, which is around 230. Looks like it wants to go higher. I'm in at 2.23. I'm going to sell and get out there. I'm chasing this. I'm a little higher. My entry is a little higher than what I'd have wanted, but I'm in with a smaller size. We have 2 more minutes left on this candle. I'm going to reduce my risk. Adding to the position. I'm going to sell and get out, minimizing my risk. So RMCF is a leading gainer. Missed the whole move there. So let's wait for the first 1-minute candle to make a new high now. because it has sold off quite a bit since the top. I'm in at 1.72. I see awful on the move. That was not a good trade on my part for the RMCF stock. I just messed up the whole trade. Now, awful had been interested in it about 2.4. I'm going to take a stab at this at around 2. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to add a little over there. My average is 1.92. CYCU is also on the rise. So I can see that CYCU is climbing higher. But most of the people are trading RMCF right now. The attention is a little dispersed. But if CMCU comes down to 0.73, I'll be interested in taking a trade. Full is around 2. So it looks like this wants to go higher. If it breaks above, that's at 2.2, I'd get interested. Both RMCF and OFIL both are neck and neck in terms of where the trader's attention is. CYCU is on the climb. 0.75 would have been a good entry on CYCU. So right now the attention is dispersed between 3 stocks. I'm just waiting to see which one would be the winner. CYCU is a US based company. So I don't think it's going to have the kind of moves that all 3 are US based companies, which is interesting. So let's see, RMCF is trying to climb up on this. Let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. The previous high of the 5-minute candle is 1.76. CYCU is on the climb. CYCU needs to break out of this particular channel. I'm taking a trade in this. I'm in at 0.799. It's struggling a bit. Let's hold. CYCU also has news. The problem is quite a few sellers on CYCU, and it's slightly higher float. I'm going to add there at 0.774. It's struggling a lot, so I'm going to position size down so I can get back in at a favorable position. It's broken down the channel, so it's a little hard to be holding right now. The one thing I'm banking on is the fact that the sell volume has come down. I'm in at 0.77. Okay, that doesn't look good. The 1-minute candle broke the previous low of the other 1-minute candle. So let's see if 0.73 holds. Okay. I'm in off a dip. I'm going to hold. All the attention is at RMCF. So all the traders seem to be trading RMCF. I'd be interested in RMCF if it's holding about 1.76. Let's be patient. PMA. Okay, the volume profile looks good on this, so I'm going to take a stab at it. I'm in at 1.48. Okay, I'm selling some there. I'm gonna sell some more there. Okay. Looks like it wants to break the high. But the problem is there are not a lot of bid support that is present. Okay. I'm fully out of my position there. I'm trying to catch a flash. Oh my goodness. That was a nasty flush. That was a really nasty flush. I'm sure a lot of people got caught in that. Terrible flush. Ofal was a penny stock, so if it keeps gapping up during the market hours, so you will see it'll be halted every 15 cents. It's a top gainer. It hasn't broken the previous candle high, so it has a good chance that it might. So I'll try to catch flushes and sell the bounces. There's about 3 minutes left in this candle. Chow is moving, so I'll try to get into Chow. So I'm in Chow at 5.5267. Okay. Okay. Selling some more. Sold most of it. Sold most of my position in Chow. Chow is again a Hong Kong company, so might just flush on us. Wow, there's a lot of volume coming into this. If you look at the 10-second candles, each of them are like 500,000. So we have about 2 minutes left on this candle. And I want to see if this 1 minute candle is bullish or if it's going to sell off. It's struggling there, so I'm going to sell my remaining position. And I'll make a full exit. So the daily pivot on this is 0.8. So we got some room. The problem is this big red candle, but if it breaks above 0.71, we have a really good chance. Another big red volume selling candle on the 10-second chart. So not a big fan of that. I'd be interested in taking the trade of the support at 0.5. 0.5 is where I expect it to bounce if it does not hold this level. But if it's a clean flush directly to 0.5, I might not take a trade at all, because the problem is this 1 minute candle is also a really high volume red candle. So I don't really want to get in right now, unless it breaks 0.71. So you will see on the 10-second chart, the green candles are still lower volume compared to the sell candles. So I'm a little hesitant to get in. I was down big and I have managed to, make up for all those losses that I took on the other stocks. So I don't really want to risk it again. Okay, so the new 5-minute candle is actually showing some strength. The problem for me is the volume. There's not a lot of buy volume coming in, and the people who bought at the top will be looking to sell, and there is a lot of selling pressure that's going to come in, and I expect the stock to drop. I hesitated on RMCA, RMCF. I should have, trusted my gut and jumped right in, but then I did not have any cushion on the day. So I hesitated and then I chased and then I lost. That's what happened. So it's better to not chase. So that's a lesson. But then you can be as calm as possible, but every now and then. So you will always find yourself chasing. And I am trading in a simulator, but I like to trade as if I'm trading with real money. This is basically to help anybody trying to get into small caps to practice. Because as you'd have seen, the volatility of the stocks, if you check this stock, which is RMCF, so you will notice just on the 10-second chart that this one candle went from 1.67 all the way up to 2.35. That's about 70 cents, and the stock was 70 cents in the morning, so it was a huge move. And then it pulled back pretty strong from 230 to all the way to 193, and then went all the way up to 248. But there is a lot of people whose attention is still on the stock, and it is giving a decent 10-cent bounces every now and then at the support levels. So it does make sense, but I'm just waiting for it to first make like a 5-minute candle over candle. So it's back in bullish territory. I like this volume ramp up on the 10-second chart. What I'd like to see is a follow-up candle, which I don't. As I do see another green candle, but it was of a lower volume. Now it's at a higher volume. And then followed by a fairly high volume red candle. RMCF is what we are looking at. RMCF is up about 152% on the day in the pre-market hours. The problem with these high gapping stocks, which start as penny stocks, is, in the market hours, they will tend to gap every 15 seconds because those are the halt bands for the penny stocks. It closed as a penny stock yesterday, so it's been a penny stock for a while, almost like a week or two. So like the fact that it broke through this resistance levels of 1.79, but then I want to see a candle over candle on the 5 minutes. I want to see how the next 5-minute candle opens up. Because I'm not looking to get the whole move. I'm not looking to get all the way from 1.48 to 2.48. All I'm trying to do is basically catch about 10-15 cents of each move. So I want this to close above 1.69 for the bullish trend to continue. It has to close above 1.69. IMTE. Interesting chart. right at the 200 EMA and the simple moving averages. Some of the pivots are at 0.76, 0.8, and the next set of pivots is at 1. Like it broke through, which is a good sign. Are there any big sellers? This is an Australian company. It has 2.9 million shares of volume. That was a nasty flush. Fairly high volume selling red candles. Could have taken the flush at 60. IMTE. Okay, so some support came in, which was good. But if this 1 minute candle closes red, which is a high volume red candle, the chart is pretty much done. And yeah, I'm going to take a little trade there for a little bounce. I'm at 0.5674. I'm at 0.5571. I'm gonna sell everything. That didn't look convincing. It should have bounced fairly good. RMCF still on the rise, which is a good sign. I like what it's doing over here. Smaller pullback, smaller volume pullback. It's holding. I'm going to get in there at 1.78. I think there's a hidden seller at 1.78. It's not budging. Okay, that was a nasty flush. Good thing I was on a smaller size. I'm going to take a position there. It's hesitating to go down further. I'm at 1.71. The shots are piling up on this. You can tell. Okay, I'm going to sell some there, just to be safe. I'm going to sell more at 1.71, just to keep my position fairly nimble and smaller. I'm going to sell everything and get out. FGL. That was a big flush on FGL. OFL is our leading gainer. I mean, the chart's not bad. It had a gradual ramp up. The float's good too. There's still quite a bit of volume on FGL. RMCF is starting to flush. I might be interested in taking a flush. If it comes down all the way to 1.5, I might be interested, but it looks like it just bounced off of this level on the 10-second chart. So IMTE. Okay, so Chow seems to be making a comeback. I am interested in taking the trade on Chow. I'm at 0.47. 4.6. I'm gonna sell some over there. If it goes higher, I can always get back in. You know what? It's hesitating a little too much for me there. I'm going to sell some more over there. It's a new fresh 5-minute candle and it's climbing higher. So this is a Hong Kong based company. So it's prone to manipulation. So we could just have some short squeezes. Let's see. I have a very small position, but I don't want to keep it in a losing position. 0.4746 is where I'm at. I expect a little bounce there. I'm going to sell some more. Okay, there was a good bounce. The problem is the sell volume candles on this. I'm going to sell and get out. RMCF is the stock which has got the highest volume. So it's climbing up. Like it's a slow, steady climb, but it is climbing up. The problem is we're right at 200 EMA now. So I'm not interested in that. Awful is selling off even more. RMCF, 6 million float. It's a NASDAQ listed company. So at least if it, keeps gapping up and then halting through the day, we'll at least be able to see the resumption levels on this. So let's see. So I'm down $65 on the day. I started around down $750 on some of, by getting FOMO'd into RMCF and chasing it. I believe a lot of traders are trading RMCF for the lack of nothing better to trade. I do see there is an opportunity to make money here though, because a lot of shorts would have taken positions all through these, the sideway movement, because people are expecting RMCF to sell off. But this spike on, like a penny stock just climbing higher, and then a real big spike is something we have seen over the past week. Like starting from Monday, we have noticed this pattern. And RMCF seems to be doing this where it breaks above and then it flushes down and then does a climb back up. So I'll take a starter position there at 1.78 because I expected it to go higher. And I'm going to sell some at 1.84 just because it struggled a little too much over there. And then I'm going to sell some more at 1.8 possibly. Okay, too much selling. If you see the time and sales like flash deep red, I try to get out. But it's a fresh 1-minute candle. So there's about 45 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. It has to close above 1.80. Otherwise, it'll count as a false breakout on the 5-minute. Not exactly a false breakout, it's just consolidating at this point. So there's not a lot of volume. But one good thing to see is that the sell volume is coming down. So is the buy volume. But let's see if we can take a trade through the flush. I'm going to take a trade there because every time it has touched the 20 EMA on the 1-minute, it has bounced. I'm in at 1.71 with a smaller size. With confirmation, I'll add more. Okay, add it there. Okay, that is the new 5-minute candle, which did not start pretty good. There's a lot of sell pressure. I'm going to get out. Okay. I'm getting back in at 0.71, 1.71. Because I see the base holding. I don't like what it's doing. If it breaks 1.69, I'll get out. Okay, too much selling. You know what? I'm going to wait for a confirmation. The good thing is it has held multiple times the 1.7 band, and it has held multiple times on the 20 EMA on the 1-minute chart. So it made sense to, I'll take a small position and just hold it. Hold it until it clearly breaks 1.69. I'm in with 877 shares. I'm in at 1.72. Let's see if 1.69 breaks or if it holds. If it holds on this 1-minute candle, we got 35 seconds of it. We can get a decent move. That's a lot of selling. Caps is on the move. Oh, this broke as I switched the charts. Let's see, this is like a key level for it. From it's jumped multiple times from here. So I might take a position right here because it's struggling to break below this. I'm in at 1.67. There's way too much selling. Okay, I'm going to sell half of my position there. Sell half more. I just don't want to take a risk. Chow is making a strong comeback. So I'm going to close this position and get in Chow. I like what Chow is doing. Upper 0.62 is going to have a real good squeeze. I'm going to get in on a little pullback. Okay, it broke 0.62, but then pulled back a little. Okay, so it is pulling back. If it reclaims 0.65, I'll get interested. Or if it comes down to 0.56, I'll get interested. There's 34 seconds left on this candle. It is holding 0.6. That's holding. I will get in around 0.56, 0.55. I'm going to take a trade there. I'm in at 0.5619 and I'm trying to sell it for 3 cents. So let's see, I'm just trying to get green on the day. Caps is on the move. Oh, that's just a nasty candle. Don't even want to look at it. Okay. So it's the fresh 5-minute candle and it's moving higher, which I like. And there's substantial volume behind it as well. It's struggling a little around 0.62. Okay. We have about 8 seconds left on this candle, on the 1 minute. It's trying to push higher, which is good. Pushed higher. Oh, that was a false breakout. Get out. I did not like this high volume 10-second candle. But there are a lot of 1-minute traders who will still be interested in it as long as it holds the 0.56 level. So the selling has tapered off. So there is a good chance that the next one-minute candle is going to push higher. So it has to hold this level and push higher, which it is doing. BBLG is on the move. I'm going to take a trade there on BBLG. I'm in at 1.03. I'm going to sell it at 1.11. Okay, it's a US based company, and it has a tiny float as well. So like the fact that this 1-minute candle did not close red. 200 EMA is at 1.40, so that's my concern. Wow, just missed the whole move. I was super early too. I was in at 1.03. Missed the move, but then I have been red super early on in the day, down $750, all the sim money still. So I didn't want to like risk it. It's pulling down a little too much right now. Okay, I'm going to take a trade there. 1.01. I'm going to get out. Try to catch the flush. The bounce was not convincing, so I had to get out while I could. UFL is on the move. That's a decent move on UFL. Let's see. I'm going to anticipate a break of 210 if the volume on this 10-second candle comes back. I would be interested in. So we have a new 5-minute candle starting in about 30 seconds. So I'm predicting that it's going to push higher because we don't have any other stock that people are looking at. So I'm at 2.07. I'm in with a smaller shear size. Okay. A big short is taking position there. I'm going to get out just to be safe. I could probably get an entry back in around 1.96. So might as well do that than risk holding a position at 2.06 because of the big seller, which we see. Someone is buying up the seller, so I'm going to get in at 2. And I'm going to sell it at 2.06, half. And I'm going to sell the rest at 2.04. This is going to get out. Okay. We have the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart at 1.94. So can catch a bounce over there. PMA. This went from 1.78, came down all the way to 80 cents, and then from 80 cents is going up to $1 right now. So BBLG went to 150, came all the way down to 0.93, and is now pretty much at 1.12. So I made 716 on Chow, 145 on BBLG, and then IMT I made $10, and then my biggest loser was RMCF. You know, the one stock which made this huge crazy move, that's where I lost the most. The reason being FOMO. Like, I couldn't catch this move over here, although I was positioned really good to take it at 1.6. I just couldn't push the trigger because I didn't feel comfortable chasing it. And then I eventually, when I did chase it, I was a little too high. So it was FOMO and missing my entry in the beginning, which played a part. Missed an opportunity on BBLG as well. It gapped up and I got in at 1.03 right at the bottom over here. But then the problem for me was there wasn't a lot of volume and I was just trying to make like a quick 10 cents out of it, and which I did, but then I did not expect this volume to come in and push it all the way to 1.5. PMA is like pushing higher. RMCF went from 1.59 to 1.68. There's no obvious trend that I see on RMCF. RMCF, the only thing that I see is that it is holding this level, which basically means that when the market opens, it has a really good chance of like going up. Chow is trying to make a comeback again. It's almost like a cup and handle. So we have about a minute left on this 5-minute candle. Looks like the market is really quiet now. I'm going to step away for 5 minutes and be right back. So we have a lot of attention pouring into Chow. I'm trying to catch a dip around here. Like anything under 0.65 would be good because that'll justify the risk to reward because the way down is much higher than the way up. That was a big red candle on the 10-second. That is making me a little nervous. Okay, I'm going to get in there. I'm in at 0.6528 with 2,000 shares. That's a lot of selling coming in. But I have a good feeling about this. Let's just hold. Holding steady. Holding steady. Holding steady. We still have 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. So it could work out. So I'm just going to hold for a second. Because I like the pattern of the chart. It is a curling pattern. I'm going to sell it around 0.69 just to be sure. Okay, you know what? I tried to sell there, but my order did not get filled. So the good thing is it's stabilizing around 0.65. 0.64 is the low. There we go, 0.68. I don't like that it's struggling so much. So I should be getting out, honestly. I'm going to get out a little over there, half the position there, around 0.68. And I'm going to sell some of the position at 0.7. Okay, I'm going to sell the rest over there. It's holding 0.71. I'm trying to take a trade below 0.71 right now. It's got 17 seconds left on this 5-minute candle, so I'm going to be patient. The pivot is around 0.8. If it breaks 0.75, I'll take the trade. Okay, I'm in at 0.74. That was not a good trade. Need to add a little more. I'm going to add more here. 0.70 is my cost average. That was not a good trade. I was impatient. That was a really high volume sell candle there. I'm going to get out. That was a stupid trade. That was just a stupid trade. So the shorts are piling up on this now because it's on the bearish side. So that would have been an unrealistic trade. Like, I'm never getting out with 50,000 shares. I like what this chart is doing though. What I don't like is the 1 minute candle, the volume on this. So the only trades are if it breaks above 0.57. Okay. So this high volume green candle pretty much redeemed the stock. I like the push higher. I'm going to take a position. So the target is around 0.6. I don't like the high red candles on the 10-second chart. We got about 3 minutes left on the 5 minute candle, so there's still hope. But I just did not like those big red candles on the 10-second chart. Okay, so it's broken above that level. I'm at 0.5873. The goal is for it to break 0.6. I'm chasing. Honestly, I'm chasing. I'm at 0.58. Yeah, this is where I should have gotten in. The flush to 0.55. I'm going to take a position there. I'm in at 0.52. The target is 0.55. Wow, it's really struggling here. The target would be 0.53. Just okay. I'll sell it there. I'll take that. RMCF. SCNX, I'm still green on it, which is interesting. I mean, I like the way it closed. The reason it's closed on a high. So we still have a chance. Let's see. Our pivot is around 0.64. That's the pivot. So I'm just waiting for this 1 minute candle to close and find its low. It's jumped off of low is 0.49. A dip under 0.5 would be interesting. It was really high volume red candle though on this. So someone got in, and if it doesn't bounce, it's going to flush harder. But the next flush is something worth taking a trade on. I'm going to enter there. I have one open position at 0.4793. And I'll take a position here. I'm at 0.4762. And I'm going to sell it there. IVDA is on the move. Wow. I'm going to take this flush. I'm going to take this flush. Okay. That's just a big flush. I'm in at 0.3142. So I'm hoping it recovers to a point where I can get out. I'm going to try and get out there. Those are some real bad flushes. The spread on this is $1, so don't even want to touch it. OFL is still holding up. RMCF is still holding up. So these have the best chance of moving when it's the open. Chow is on the run, but this red candle volume is what it's a really high red candle on the 1 minute. So that is what is making this trade bad. Otherwise, you could have taken it for the curl because it has shown multiple times that on the 5 minutes it flushes down to the 9 EMA and then rises up. It has done the same over here. So a lot of traders would probably be jumping in thinking it's going to do the same. OFL is also something which comes down, flushes to the VWAP and it bounces. It has done it multiple times. But once it actually went much below, so not a great pattern. But I like that it's forming like a cup and a handle. So just going to be patient right now. So terrible trading from me today. So this is why trading on a simulator is super important. I did not cut my losses early, and I was hopeful that something is going to move, and it was not. Just overall bad trading, nothing else. We see OFL being at the top of the attention and also showing like it's forming a streak. SPRC, it has no volume to speak of, so not really interested in that. But it's holding its level, that's why it's showing up on the scanner. So the last time it came to this level, it flushed down pretty hard, went from 2.15 to almost $2, which is a 15-cent drop. So I'd be interested in watching it first hold the break, like break this pivot and then hold. If it manages to hold after breaking the pivot, it would make sense to enter for a push to almost $3. So out of this 70 odd cents, I would be happy to, make 30 cents out of it if it manages to like start squeezing. You see how there was this big red candle on the 10-second chart? So whosoever was pushing it higher, they just decided to sell it on the bid and get out. Okay, we see pretty good volume coming in, and we see it has broken this pivot over here, and it broke back down. That is not good. So there was no follow through. So whosoever got in with this big position pretty much sold everything. So it's been a day where, the stock first pushes higher and then it just holds and starts trading in a range. Like you will see the same with RMCF. Just pushed higher and then just started trading in a range. There are no curl setups to speak of today, except for Chow. But Chow has been a little messy. And it's a penny stock, which a lot of traders don't trade. BAOS made an impressive move this morning from 1.61 to 2.57. And yesterday it started at 0.68. So it's almost a move of around 250% after hours. And then if you include, the pre-market move, it's almost like a 400% move. But it's on the backside now. It's clearly on the backside. Okay, there was a nice big squeeze on OFO. Wow. Wow. That was just insane. That was just insane. I'm gonna get in at 2.90. Trying to sell it at 3. You know what? I'm gonna get out. As impressive as the move was, it's pulling back pretty hard. So I'm gonna get out there. What kind of a move was that? That was just insane. So it's forming a base around 2.9. $2.65 is where I'd be interested in, even thinking, considering going back in. $1.2 million shares on this, 1.6 million shares on this candle. That's just insane. Yeah, I was not expecting that move at all. And it just happened so fast. Like you had this. I wanted to punch it over here, hesitated, and it just went to the next two candles. I'm going to take that trade at 2.87. Target is 2.92, 2.93. I'm going to get out there. 500 shares, 6 cents, $30. Just missed the whole move. If it breaks under 2.85, the next support it finds is 2.68. So you see the shots piling up there. That was just an insane move. So we also see that RMCF has a similar base. So can it also do what UFL did? Unlikely. But we'll see. Well, that's a pretty bad sell-off. That was just a pretty bad flush. I hope no one got caught in it. MYSZ is on the move. This is a pretty decent flush to actually buy, but then 5-minute candle is on such a high red volume, and this 1-minute candle closed with such a high red volume. It's actually really risky to get in. It could just flush. Plus, I've taken too many risks today, and generally the things which I assumed would bounce did not bounce. So I don't want to get back in.